Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, Lob's Trucking Channel. Today we are going to be going over week 2, what to expect week 2 Swift Academy, and that's about it. So just to start off, I want to try to keep these videos around like 10-15 minutes tops, because I don't want to bore y'all too much. I want to just kind of get straight to the information. That's what you're probably here for anyway. I do have a lot of other video ideas coming out, going over, I think like what to bring with you, maybe some of the places around the hotel, places to eat, things to do, stuff like that. I think that would be some good stuff for y'all. At least if y'all come to Kansas City, I think every place will have some stuff, though, around it. Besides Memphis, when we went over Memphis, like the hotel they have y'all at, it's actually in Mississippi, like 10 miles south of Memphis, Tennessee. And it really didn't seem like there was much around the hotel. But I'm in Kansas, so I can give y'all my information for what I know about Kansas City. But we're going to get right into it. Not waste any time here, any more than we already have. Man, I got the hiccups. So, week 2 Swift training is going to be your ELDT training. What's ELDT, you ask? Well, that's entry-level driver training. It is going to be a class, 30 chapters of going over a lot of basic information. We got this handy-dandy notebook here, because I forgot to bring a notebook. So, by the way, bring a notebook, bring a journal, some pens, paper, whatever. Bring something with you. I forgot to bring something with me, so instead of buying something, I went to the hotel lobby, because I didn't have any notepads in the room. I was like, hey, y'all got any like notepads, anything I could have? Some sticky notes, loose leaf paper. And somebody left a BOL, bill of lading paperwork, and they had, I guess, in their whatever room in the lobby that people leave things. It's like, man, you can have the stack of paper, you just write on the back of it. All right, perfect. Works out great. I got to buy a notebook, because I forgot to bring one with me, so it works out great. You're going over 30 chapters of in the book. The book I showed in my last video, that's what you're going to be going over. And you're going to be answering questions at the end of that book. There's 10 questions pretty much for every chapter. Besides, there's a couple of them that have 5 questions, but majority of them is 10 questions. And best thing I could say is go in there. I started writing down the questions and the answers, but if you're doing that for 300 roughly questions and answers, your hand's going to probably fall off. So after doing that for about probably 5 chapters worth, I ended up just writing down the chapter. I'd write down the what the chapter was about. Like, let's say chapter 16 was over skid control, recovery, jackknifing. And I'd do that. I'd number them down and I'd write the answer. So I had that book. I can go in there. I'd read the question. I have the right answer to go over for my test the next day. You go over things: hazard preparation, roadside inspections, identification of diagnostics and malfunctions, dashboards, trip planning, how to read an atlas, how to use an atlas. That's very informational stuff, because when you get on the road, you're probably going to be able to how to use an atlas. They really preach, we have the trucker GPS, they're pretty good. You can buy another GPS, but at the same time, you don't always want to trust that. Get your load, look at your atlas, and be able to make sure the route that you have is a truck route based off the atlas. And make sure you get an atlas that is pretty updated, at least 2022, 2020. You don't want it more than 2 years old, because a lot of things change in 2 years on an atlas for height restrictions, roads. You'll learn about that. Trust me. You're going to go over it. But ELDT was pretty much, entry-level driver training. It's a lot of stuff, going over FMCSA rules, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the FMCSR, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Regulations. I think I might have said that. The FMCSA is the association. Actually, yeah. But you're going to learn the differences between them, rules and regulations, how to use your logs. We did, they're going to give you this right here. Is a paper log practice sheet. Got a bunch of paper logs on it printed out. And each day through class, Monday through Friday, you're going to fill out a log, okay? And it's pretty much there. So when your e-log does go out, you have to know how to use these paper logs. So if your e-log goes out, you have to be able to use the e-log, or I'm sorry, the paper log, so you can keep track of your miles and your time and your on-duty status, and be able to also go back 7 days, because you legally have to be able to provide that information to a DOT officer if you're pulled over in an inspection, what have you. So they're going to teach you how to fill out a log, what everything means. You're going to go over that. You're going to go over the chapters, the 30 questions, not 30 questions, the 30 chapters, 10 questions, 5 questions, mostly 10 questions in each chapter. I have this, they gave me a Swift Driving Academy pre-trip inspection booklet. Actually, I got this a couple days early because I don't think usually they give them to you till you start the class, which would be next week for me, my week 3. But he was like, man, I'm going to give you, I'm one of the academy guys, the instructors, he was like, I'm going to give you this book, so but make sure ELDT comes first and you can start reading over this because, you know, they don't want you to fail. The academy is here to get you your license. That's what they're here for. They're teaching you everything you need to know, ins and outs, so you can obtain that CDL, because that's what we're all here for, right? We want to get that CDL so we can go make money. And that's what it's here for. So they gave me this pre-trip book. I felt pretty confident in most of the stuff I was doing after, you know, reading it over, doing my questions, answering the stuff online on the Infinite website. There's also an app on your phone you can install. So I started reading over it, you know, and this book has everything you need in it from, I mean, your pre-trip front to back, you know, your trailer, your engine compartment, steering, axle components, everything, suspension. I mean, it has everything in detail labeled, how you need to identify it. It's not cracked, not broken, functions properly, what have you. So this is very good to have. My suggestion, just, you know, open it up and, you know, if you feel confident with the stuff you've done, you answer your questions, you know, you're done. You know, once you answer those questions, you do your test online, you're done. You have 3 times to take them. If you pay attention in class, he's going to go over all the questions on top of it. So it's really, if you're like just sleeping or not paying attention at all, you would probably fail. But if you just listen to the instructor, he's a great instructor, Mr. John out of Memphis, you shouldn't have any issues. It was very, you should be good. Pay attention, take your notes, you're going to be just fine. I guarantee it. And yeah, I just started reading this book front to back like once a night. And when I went to go do my laundry today at the academy, which, by the way, at terminals, free laundry. When you're in class, you're in the academy, you have access to the terminal. They also have a gym there if you want to work out. Hotel has a gym too, but, you know, and I went and washed my laundry today, made some friends. I rode with him because he drove down here. He doesn't live far from the terminal. And while the stuff was washing, we walked out to the training pad, and we went over the pre-trip. And I made friends with the guys and gals that are in the class a week ahead of me. So they've already started the pre-trip and everything. They're testing out next week. So they, you know, we all work together. I'm like, you know, while we're waiting for the washer to go, let's just go look over pre-trip. He's like, that's a great idea because I need to study anyway. And, you know, just get as much knowledge as we can. So definitely take advantage all the time you have. You got this, for sure. You're also going to get this booklet. Like I said, you may or may not get the pre-trip booklet. I know I gave it to me early. You may or may not get it. Still, there's plenty of stuff on YouTube. Go on YouTube and look up Swift pre-trip inspection. Now, every state's different. Every state's different. So no matter what state you're testing in, they require different stuff. Majority of it is pretty much the same. But the stuff you got to remember, probably about 80% of it's the same. But each state has their own little things they got to do. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt, you know. You're going to get the Swift Academy book as well, Swift Driving Academy Truck Driving Course Catalog. And it has the terminals on the back, and it's pretty much just going to overview everything, every information you want to know. Credentials, how long the instructors at Kansas City, because this is Kansas City's little booklet, how long the instructors have been in the trucking industry. And everyone in here has been doing it for over 10, 15 years, besides like 2 people. So they're very knowledgeable, and they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. Listen to your instructors. They're not going to steer you wrong because they're here for you. They're here to make sure you're going to you're going to get your license. That's what they're here for. And you're just going to go over everything. This has everything listed in it. I'm not really going to go into it too much, but it goes over your expectations, dress code. You know, can't wear shorts, tank tops, short sleeve or sleeveless shirts. Your admissions, your enrollment, how much the CDL stuff costs, how much you're expected to pay back, the daily programs, or what every day entitles, the grading system, attendance policy, transportation, you know, everything about your 3 to 4 weeks in the academy is going to be in this booklet right here. Good information. But yeah, we went over the chapters, so I definitely say pay attention in class. It's really not bad as long as you pay attention. You're going to be fine. If you get the pre-trip stuff early, great. Start looking at it. If you feel comfortable in the ELDT stuff, make sure you get your classwork done, though, because you have to have it completed. Have to pass everything with an 80% or higher. But besides that, that's all it was. And then Friday, so we really only did the chapters Monday through Thursday. Our class went pretty quick. So Friday was pretty much left for orientation day, okay? So the way orientation works, you're going to watch videos about Swift. You're going to go over the history of Swift. You're going to have to answer questions at the end of all of it, too. Like go through this little hire-on prep process, watching how to run a reefer videos and stuff like that. So that's very easy, too. You just got to watch the stuff, read the information, answer some questions. You can retake the test if you did fail, but you shouldn't fail as long as you pay attention. You're going to be A-okay. That's what we went over this week. And also, good information, after you get your license for this orientation we did on this Friday, you will get a $300 check for orientation pay. As soon as you obtain your license, sometime in that week, I guess when the pay period hits, you're going to get $300 for training pay for the orientation. So, besides that, that's really all I have right now. I kind of want to keep the video trimmed down. We're about 11 minutes right now. That's it for week 2. You're going to be doing your chapters. You're going to be doing orientation one day, and that's about it. I'll have another video coming out here shortly of what I would say you need to bring with you to your academy you go to. I mean, unless you live close to the academy, you can drive home every day, great. But if you're like me, I'm 13 hours from my house. Okay, I'm not driving home every day, obviously. So I'm going to go into stuff like that. If you're going to be gone from your house for a while, I'll be up here for almost 4 weeks. So stuff that I would recommend you bring with yourself. You know, I want you to have everything you need, no problem. So that's about it for this week. Week 2 went great. Everyone's still friendly. The instructors are awesome. They're there to help you, and they're not going to let you fail as long as you don't give up on yourself. So it's been a great experience so far. I'm excited to see what week 3 brings into it, and y'all will hear about that next week. We'll be starting our backing procedures and our on-the-road training, our driving, our skills test training. And that about does it. So anyways, y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all on the next one, and have a great weekend.